Hey guys, wanted to do an update on the financial independence journey since we had a really good day in the market. Net worth today 1.411 million, the last 90 days up over $111,000. I'm going to take you to one of my M1 accounts. M1 Finance, one of the brokerages I use, have basically two retirement accounts. One's a Roth in here, and then I have a brokerage account that I've recently started to invest in. And I had this account a while ago, but I didn't really start using it until more recently when I've started to thinking about how am I going to get from age 50 or mid 40s to 60, because you can't take out from the retirement accounts without a penalty until age 59 and a half. And I'm in my late 30s, so I've got to figure out how to bridge the gap. And one of the ways I'm going to do that is with dividend growth investing, and so I can take dividends from my investment accounts. So this is done in a brokerage, obviously, no tax penalties or anything like that when withdrawing. So I want to just give you a few insights into the portfolio. Want to know what you think about it and how it's set up. I've been making some tweaks to it. I'm spread across growth and dividend. I like large caps. I really like the Mag 7, now Mag 8. And today I've been buying Tesla, I wanted to say Tesla, but I've been buying SpaceX. So I've added SpaceX to this account as well as several other accounts. I'm just going to be buying. My approach on SpaceX is DCA. I'm not going all in on it right now, but I'm just adding shares to it as we go. And so we've got the Mag 7 in here, obviously, and then I've added SpaceX, Palantir, and Broadcom. So this is kind of the bigger piece, the center of this particular account. And then we also have growth ETFs. We have just kind of the famous growth ETFs, the VUs, getting the S&P 500, QQQ, the NASDAQ 100. I like the Vanguard growth ETF. And of course, the VTI is one of my all-time favorites, just getting the whole total market. So growth ETFs, we got international securities, we've got dividend ETFs, and I really struggled with how much I wanted to be in my split between dividends and growth. And I've erred on, I want to go more growth than dividend, and that's just the way that I roll, because I will transition as I get closer to independence, financial independence. I will transition more to dividend and getting higher yields. But I think one of the mistakes that investors make early on is going too heavy in dividends on the front end before building up the accounts in the portfolio. And so I know that growth dividend investing is a really great strategy, but for me in growing my portfolio, it just makes more sense to have the yields down and not be collecting so much dividends on the front end, and then getting more of that alpha and growing on the front end the accounts up, and then we'll move it to dividends later. So then we've got a little bit of Bitcoin, some precious metals, and in this AI pie, I've been adjusting a little bit. Got a semiconductor ETF and then a bunch of AI stocks that we've recently added. And so from there with AI, we've got dividend stocks. And the dividend stocks, I pretty much just got a whole bunch of different kinds of dividend stocks. But right now, kind of my thesis is with AI doing so well and seems to be, it's going to be around for the foreseeable future, putting it mildly. I think things are going to go really well in terms of how any company has exposure to AI. Those companies are going to do really well. So that's the slices of this particular pie. In terms of activity in the account, I'm making about $400 deposit every week in this one. Similar with the Robinhood account, I'm putting a little bit more in the Robinhood account. And I really like how we can do the pies and the rebalancing here. And I use M1 for that purpose, but I also use Robinhood because of the recurring investments. And it's just an easy to use app. And I don't like to have all of the funds in one place, so I have two. And then for retirement accounts and also for just having an emergency savings like money market, I use Fidelity. So I have my portfolio split across 3 different brokerages, and it makes it a little more cumbersome during like tax season. But overall, to me, I don't want to put all my money in one place. I just like to be spread out a little bit. Some people just like to have it in one place for easy access. But if things hit the fan and like Robinhood went away or something like that, I wouldn't want to be tied up where trying to get my funds back and everything was right there. So That's why I have it in 3 different places. And they each have their kind of own different features and there's trade-offs. So that's just something that I do. Overall, though, this is the plan to keep dollar cost averaging into these 2 brokerage accounts, one here in M1 and the other one in Robinhood, and basically grow this up to probably like $750,000 and then transition it more into a dividend type of a portfolio with higher yields, 3 to 4% yields as we get closer to the around $1 million mark. And so from there, we'll be basically in position. So